doubt. What do I do with doubt? What do I do with doubting thoughts when they come up, Rose? What about all the doubts? They feel like overwhelming, and I don't know what to do with them. Many of you even have heard of the term doubting Thomas, and he is one of the 12 disciples, one of the 12 faculties of the mind. And I'm going to share with you actually what even in scripture happened, what Jesus did to that doubting Thomas. And I want to share with you 2 success stories where, despite the doubt, they were looking at it in a different direction, and I helped them shift in sessions to claim who they choose to be, and saw fast results in both of these situations despite this overwhelming doubt. Welcome, my name is Rose. Welcome to The Rosey Life, where we help you free your mind and follow your heart so you live a life that you love. If you're interested in working one-on-one with me or joining the Rosey Life course in community, you can read all about it at RoseyLife.com. And thank you so much for subscribing to the Rosey Life, and thank you for liking the videos, and thank you for sharing the video and the channel with others so the channel continues to grow. I love you guys so much for helping and supporting in all these different ways. Thank you. Okay, so let's get to this. So there's 2 success stories, and they're completely different in how doubt was showing up for them. And that's why I wanted to bring them both up, because one is about money and the other one is about SP. But the doubt was surfacing differently. And I want to show you how it came up and how they were able to not dismiss it, not delete it, but just allow it to be there and still get what they want. So the first one is she was trying to not doubt. This is about the SP. She was trying not to doubt, and she was trying to believe, she's trying to trust, she was trying to affirm, she was trying to even keep busy, like do things for herself, thinking that was self-love, and the reason why she doesn't have her SP, that is because she wasn't loving herself or liking herself. She was doubting herself, doubting her power, doubting that this works, all kinds of doubt, okay? Then in a session, she stopped looking and repeating her story of anger. So this client, she was doing all the techniques, manifesting, visualization, all kinds of stuff, okay? But that was never the issue with her. And it wasn't that she didn't have faith. It wasn't that she didn't trust and believe in herself. It wasn't that she didn't believe that she's powerful. And so she was really hitting her head up against a wall, trying to figure out what's wrong. And during a session, she was sharing with me openly that she was very angry with her SP for his behavior, for what he said, for what he was doing. That I believe he lives like 2 hours away from her, and saying things like, well, he only comes to see me when it's convenient. Like if he has business and he's local, then he sees me. He doesn't just drive to see me just to see me. That there's always has to be another reason why he's around. And she just didn't feel prioritized and loved and wanted. And she said, I'm just tired of being alone and tired of affirming and trying all this stuff. And she said, I just want to be cherished. And so it wasn't that she was trying to say that she was cherished and loved and wanted, and none of that was working. And she even tried changing her self-concept to love herself, to like herself. All of those things weren't working. And then one session, she shared with me that she's very angry with her SP for his behavior. And then she was saying she was really angry at herself, that she allowed herself to manifest a version of this person, that she was angry with herself for even wanting to be with this person. She was angry at him, she was angry at herself. And I even jokingly in that session said, because I heard her dog walking around, I said, next you're going to be angry at the dog. I said, you're angry at everybody. And then we talked about how she was identifying with her anger. So she said she was angry and betrayed and all that towards her SP, she was identified with that, with the anger. She was identified with the anger at herself, at others, and that's who she was really holding on to instead of I am. She was in the middle of her assumption of angry at everything and everyone and couldn't see anything else. Even though she knows she's I am, even though she knows she can have anything she wants, she was holding on to this angry story about herself and her SP. And then we identified that, right? Because I mentioned to her a little story that, like, my son did something. He made a choice and that led him to an unfavorable outcome. And I shared with her that I told him, and I said, look, I said, just because you make a decision, right? And I use different words for him than I would use with a client, but I used different words with him. For example, I said, look, you think you messed up. You made this decision and you keep messing up, because those are his words. I said, but that doesn't make you a mess up. I said, you messed up. That doesn't make you a mess up. It's just a choice, and it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't reflect that you're a messed up person, because he was saying that he was a messed up person for messing up. And when I shared that story with his client, she, like a light bulb, I could see it on her face. She just like, bing. She's all, that's it. That's it. She was saying, she said, I've been identifying with my anger. I've been saying that I'm a mess up because I messed up. I messed up there, and I was angry. She felt amazing after that call, and she was just like, oh my God. Then 2 hours later, after our session that same evening, I get an email from her telling me that her SP called her and said, I'm driving over just to see you. I want to spend time with you and spend the night with you. And she was so happy because he had never done that before. He had only did it when he had to go work near her, or she would have to drive to see him. But this time was different, because she let go of her angry story, her angry identity. Do you see? So she was trying to release the doubt that this works. She was trying to release that, or trying to believe it more. She was trying to have faith in it. She was trying to believe in her power and trust in her power. She thought she was doubting that it wouldn't work, and that's why it didn't happen. It had nothing to do with her doubt. Do you see? She released her identity as angry, and angry towards him, and angry towards, she released that, and immediately she saw movement. Do you see? Sometimes we think we're like doubting, right? And it's not. And I'm gonna keep going into this further so you guys really get clear on doubt. And here's the other. This one is a new TheRoseyLife client that I just saw today for the first time. And you guys are going to love this story. So she said, I found you on August 28th. So what is that? It was 5 days ago she found me. Literally just 5 days ago. And within a couple days, she said, I have to meet Rose. She's like, I have to do a session with her. She took money. She didn't have the money to book a session. And she said, I saw the 30-minute option. And she's like, nope, I want a whole hour with her. And so she said, I don't know how I'm going to do this, because she didn't have any the money for it at the time. So she said, you know what? She took money from her rent. You guys, I have no idea all these things going on behind those scenes. I don't know you guys are doing this kind of stuff, and I'm not telling you to do it, okay? But she was moved. This was her personal inspiration. I'm not telling you guys to do it, but this is her, okay? This is such a cool story. She said no. She took money from her rent to pay for the session and booked it, right? So she took money from her rent, and she went to bed that night doubting herself that she should have done that. And she doubted. She's like, what are you going to do? That was your rent money. And instead, she went to bed. She doubted herself, then said, no, I will somehow figure this out. She said, somehow, some way, this is going to figure out. She's like, I'll figure out the rent somehow, some way. Okay, so remember, this August 28th, her rent was due yesterday, and she's booking a session right before her rent is due. But get this. She says, I don't care. I'm having a session with Rose. This is happening, and somehow, some way, I'm going to figure this out. The next day, the very next day, she booked the session, went to bed. Next day, in the morning, she woke up to a $5,300 deposit into her account. You guys, we on the call, I said, I already knew. I said, how much is that? How many times is that investment that you received a return on? And I already knew in my head it was 10. I didn't do the math. I just had a knowing that it was 10. And she busted out her calculator, and she said, oh, it's like 9 times. She's like, no, it's almost 10 times. And I said, I thought so. And what is 10? 10 is a number of completion. It's of perfection. Of 10 is going all in. It's all in faith. It's perfect. It's whole. It's complete in metaphysical interpretations of 10 in the Bible. And I thought, she was like, oh my God. She's like, wow. And I said, yeah, you can't get any more perfect than that. I said, that is divine perfection. You can't figure that out. For all of you are like, how? Do you see? She doubted. She trusted. There's no way she could have figured out that she would have received 10 times that the very next morning. Do you see how perfect the how is? We don't have to focus on the how. And the doubt comes up. It doesn't matter. And not only that, you guys, but the first day she started watching me, she said, I'm loving the success stories. She says, I love hearing the success stories. And she even emailed me and said, I'm going to be one of your success stories. Watch. And then during the session, I was like, this is such a good story. I'm going to make a video about that. And then she shared that with me. She said, I told you I'm going to be your success story. And I said, guess what? You are, because I'm going to mention you on my next video. So you were right. That's a second manifestation that you did just in the last 5 days. You received $5,300 and you said you were going to be my success story. You did it. You did both of them. And she said, oh my God. She says, I didn't even realize that I did that too. Isn't that cool? So stop trying to fix the doubt. The doubt's not the problem. Those are both completely different stories showing you that doubt is not the issue. It's not, you don't have what you want because of doubt. That's not it at all, okay? Doubt, and I looked this up on the Webster Dictionary for you guys because I did this with my second client. I said, let's just for kicks and giggles look up doubt, what it means during our call. And I said, doubt, it's a feeling of uncertainty or lack of conviction. I mean, come on, you guys. We talk about this stuff all over all of our videos, right? Doubt, a feeling, what's a feeling? Let's get to that in a second, of uncertainty. Oh, I don't know, right? Or lack of conviction. You are conviction. You don't have to feel conviction. You are conviction. You don't have to try to get into conviction because you are conviction. So a feeling of uncertainty. So let's talk about feelings, because since doubt clearly is a feeling, doubt isn't a fact. It's a feeling, okay? Feelings. Oh, I did another Webster too, because I wanted to really get more into the definition of it. This is also the other part of the feelings. Okay, so here we have doubt, a feeling of uncertainty. Okay, so then I looked up feelings, an emotional state or reaction, a belief, especially a vague or irrational one. Okay, for all of you who say that sometimes you feel you're going crazy and that you're delusional and that this isn't working and that you feel like your mind's playing tricks on you, that's delusional. Clearly, Webster's saying that doubt is delusional. Do you see we got it all wrong? You're thinking that you're going crazy for wanting something that you can't see, or that you can imagine something that you get it. And then you're saying that that's delusional. The doubt is what's delusional. Google it yourself. Do you see? Feelings are, it says, an emotional state, a state of being that, guess what? You are the I am. You are infinite states. You can change states anytime you want to. You're never stuck in any state. A state is not fact. It's not concrete. A state is optional. An emotional state of reaction, a belief, especially a vague or irrational one. Feelings. Okay, so now remember, I'm just going to recap on assumptions, right? I've talked a lot about assumption on other videos, right? When you assume something, right, that's your choice. This is where you have control over your state. In assumption, you can enter a new state of being. An assumption, right? Then that assumption of your choice creates thoughts, feelings, and actions automatically. So look at where the the doubt comes from. Look where doubt, since now we know that doubt is a feeling, look where doubt comes from. Doubt comes from an assumption. It's an assumption that you have. Doubt isn't something that you have to fix, because remember, if you try to fix it over here, these are automatic. This is not where your free will is. Your free will is over an assumption. So trying to get rid of the doubt is pointless. It'll just keep coming. Do you see? So what do you have to do? Change your assumption. So doubt is always going to come from you believing that you're not one with your desire, one with God. That is all it is. And you assume who you are. You go back and declare, I am. I am the all. I am that great I am. I am. I am the one and only. I am the light. I am the door. I am the way. Do you see? That is your new assumption. And if you want to, instead of trying to change your feelings and pretend that you don't doubt, that's where you start feeling like you're delusional. Do you see? And then Thomas, a lot of you have heard the term doubting Thomas. Well, Thomas is one of the 12 disciples, or one of the apostles of Jesus. And the 12 disciples represents the 12 faculties of mind, or the states of consciousness that all men have. And doubt is one of them, you guys. Thomas says it was a disciple that represents reasoning, understanding into the intellectual perspective. This is Thomas. He wants to get it. He wants to understand the steps. What is the process? What's the technique? What's the method? Show me the evidence. I need to see it in 3D. Well, the 3D is showing me this. Well, that's delusional. The 3D, blah, blah, blah. That's Thomas, right? And even how Jesus responded to Thomas, he still respected Thomas, and he even talked to Thomas, right? But that, do you see, he didn't try to eliminate Thomas and tell him to go away because he's annoying. No, it's one of the 12 faculties of the mind. And so we don't have to eliminate out, we don't have to fix it. The body can doubt. This 3D physical body can doubt because it has different faculties of the mind. But I am is who you really are. I am is who you really are. So doubting, you can just let it be there. You know that doubting is just a feeling. It's not truth. It's not who you are. It's just a manifestation from your assumption. It's an effect of your assumption. Who are you? An assumption. I am whoever I say I am. I am that great I am. I am God. Do you see? That's who you really are. You're not the thoughts. You're not those feelings. You're not even the assumptions. You get to choose assumptions to have different experiences here, but you are above all of it. That's who you really are. So if you want to move away from doubt, move away from fear, move away from all of that, that's fine. But don't try to eliminate it, because it's just going to be there. It's one of the faculties of the mind. So just look at it at what it is. It's just an effect. It's only an effect from my assumption. And I can change my assumption as many times as I want to. All right? Okay, my loves, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you again for liking the video. Thank you for sharing it and subscribing to The Rosey Life. I love you guys all so, so much. And you are hopefully seeing how freaking amazing you guys are. I'm not just saying that up in here. You guys are truly, all of us are freaking amazing. I'll see you soon. Bye.